good point.
My feeling is that having a specific working group makes a lot of sense. I think it should be a working group connected with the facilitation committee in some way that obviously anybody can join, but because that's the group that already has materials and is charged with gathering more information and materials. But what I was going to say is in the time frame that it takes for this working group to kind of gather information and whatnot, perhaps the facilitation committee could bring the materials as soon as next week on different ways of seeing the block and bring materials each week so that people can actually read them, do their homework, so that when we do have more express discussions about things, people actually have some of that info.
I think that's a great idea. I would actually suggest that maybe we just task it to facilitation instead of creating too many committees and getting cluttered with a lot of committees, but just really trying to assign things to existing ones instead of having a whole separate working group. And anyone can join facilitation, right? It's not like it's a private domain or something. So Paul and Roy.
Oh, I was just agreeing.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think the working group should be formed. The facilitation group actually begins it and drives it, that's fine. Because I think it should be a working group that involves more people who don't know that they have to join the facilitation.
It's like a Venn diagram.
Let's not make it too complicated.
Okay.
Hey, it'll be our first working group, that's always good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other commentary on the creation of a working group to study the GA model? No? Temperature check? All right, so let's vote. Should we create this working group? All right, consensus, it's passed. All right, so now we're on to proposal number 8.
Proposal number 8 is George's proposal. Develop an economic model to get a permanent space for the Occupy movement. Just before we go into that, we are running out of time.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's probably going to take us over time, so we might just want to think about what we want to do process-wise.
Paul?
Considering we are running out of time, and this topic does deserve debate, perhaps we can put it out on communication.
Yeah. Would we be able to just do another 5 minutes? Because I just want to respect that you have brought this proposal, I think, to every GA.
Yeah.
But you always end up putting it in at the end, and so it got tabled last week, and I should have remembered that. But you have brought this forward before, and this is, and if I might clarify, this is about getting a shared accommodation unit that people could go to, like, of people in Occupy who want to do. And then they could use it as a central or just a space for Occupy.
One of the locations that I've looked at is right across Basic City Hall, 5-bedroom place, 3 down, 2 up. There's another 4-bedroom place nearby. The ability to have a central location where people can drop in on their schedule, get caught up quickly, be able to make a contribution and get on, rather than everybody have to hit the same schedule when there's a few things that they want to add to a certain discussion or everything. And the ability to have a central point physically and be able to be coordinating different groups, it has tremendous logistics advantages. So that's why I'm looking for a temperature check from the group, to go forward with developing it. If the group doesn't see the value of it, and to what I'm speaking is when we're trying to connect with people, we're trying to connect with the city. What I see is the development process here is really the ability, can we get to a governance model that is equal to or better than City Hall, and I'm looking to be better.
Okay.
So temperature check and table this for a bit more in-depth discussion as we go on and further GAs.
Okay, are you calling for a temperature check right now?
Please.
Okay, well. So there's some ambivalence, a lot of ambivalence to see a lot of a little bit.
Maybe we could talk a little bit about it.
Okay, so that's just a temperature check.
Yeah.
George just wants to know where people are at. So Rochelle, then Autumn, and then Paul.
I feel like this is such a big and not developed proposal that I would feel a lot more comfortable with, you know, a proposal to, I mean, I hate just describing things to working groups, but like to have a working group to look at real options, to bring real proposals, like we rent this place, this is how much it is. You know what I mean? Like some affirmative, not this big idea of like, do we want to rent a place or not? Because I actually feel like that's opening up another mega debate that we need to have that might not be serving moving your proposal along. So I would like to make a friendly suggestion that we modify your proposal to get a group discussing and bringing firmer proposals to the
What I
GA.
proposed last.
Okay, so,
I feel like maybe, I mean, I don't want to be ruling out things unduly, but I mean, I think maybe, you know, in terms of the kind of resources we're talking for something like that, you know, like when you brought it up, I envisioned, you know, like at most we would, you know, consider getting like some office space in Sadleir or something equivalent to that, and even that is a lot of money, you know, we'd have to figure out where that money would come from. We'd have to, and it probably more than we could muster right now, especially when we don't, I'm not sure, you know, then somebody has to staff it, whatever, you know, it brings up a whole lot of issues, and I just don't see it as something that we would have, that we're ready or, you know, where something that we can address yet. You know?
Yeah. I didn't type any of that shit.
The same way, the size of occupied beautiful now, I just can't see justified spending $1,700 a month on rent, utility, property taxes, or whatever is on top of that, heating. When the whole essence of Occupy was started on the presence of occupying public space. Every other organization out there has an office, and I thought we were trying to put forth a new idea, new concepts based off of public space. I just don't see a need for a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week facility. Perhaps later if we get humongous down the road, it could be something discussed, but I just can't see a viability in this right now. When we have use of this facility, we can rent spaces as we need them, we can use occupy spaces, and we can use coffee shops and stuff.
okay, so we're at 4 o'clock, unfortunately. We could probably achieve about 5 minutes.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Cool. So you're happy with that for the moment?
Yes, I understand the consensus of the group at this moment.
Okay, great.
Can I just add 1.5 seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah, without a fundraising plan, this is not going to work.
But
George, don't quit. You said before that you were gonna quit.
I'm not making the decision of this outcome.
Okay.
It would be nice as soon, and there'll be more time to campaign.
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion is some things require a lot of thought. Like they don't happen. And even a month is like a finger snap to me. You know?
Yeah.
Some projects require a lot of construction, a lot of time to really become something that's feasible. Anyway, so we're at 4 o'clock. Any last announcements? Anything to add before we wrap this one up?
A last announcement, if people are not aware, and talking about sensitivity to Aboriginal issues, a great speaker coming in, Clayton Thomas Muller, next Saturday, week today, 7 o'clock at Peterborough Public Library. It's organized by my step-granddaughter, Hannah McFarlane, and others from Jamaica Self-Help. And Bridget DePapp is going to be there too, so it's going to be a great evening.
Oh, she likes Peter Run now, right?
Yeah.
quick, do you mind if we advertise this? Quick temperature check? Just like store it on the calendar and whatnot and put it in the memo?
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
This is, I guess, an addendum to that. The reason he's going to be in town and gracing us at the library is actually because he's being brought here for a youth conference that's happening It might not pertain to most of the people here, but myself and some other folks involved with Occupy are going to be doing a lot of facilitation, and it's called Building Movement, or BAM. And you can still get in touch and get involved if you know any young folks by calling Jamaica Self-Help. So maybe we could also put that in the minutes and actually try to think about doing some outreach if people do have younger folks in their lives.
Yeah. Do you need the...
And I forgot to propose this, but do people in general feel comfortable with me telling people at the youth conference that we have an Occupy movement and that they should totally
Open invitation. It is. It's Peterborough General Assembly. Everybody's invited.
I'm just saying, like, we get a whole weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Direct Action Committee is meeting this week, and there's a doodle poll being set up. And secondly, George, before we leave, you let me know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess
When's the direct action meeting?
There's going to be a poll out. Tell them how to get on that.
Let's get connected after the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess in that spirit, there's going to be an outreach meeting Tuesday at 6 p.m. here in Sadleir. It's probably one of the upstairs rooms.
I'm going to the only cafe after drink coffee thing. I was talking about politics and gay violence.
Outreach Tuesday, 6 o'clock?
Yeah, here.
I'll go with you, George.
Sure, Ryan.
I just don't have any money for coffee to save me all
Thank
for
you.
Valentine's Day.
Okay. Good idea. All right.
How are we doing for paying for Sadleir House? Just to check in with the budget.
The first 3 we held here, I paid and was reimbursed for two of them. Last week's was not paid.
I picked up that one.
How much
Okay,
did
you
it
did?
cost?
Okay.
It's $10 an hour, but she gave us 2 of them for 15, which was nice. So I only did 30. So I think that's like right now that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. But I forgot the donation bin, and so I think just a loose change. Like if you got loony or toony on you during the week.
Everybody kind of pitch into the fund?
Yeah. If
Everything's
if
covered until today,
that's
right,
the
Joe?
Huh?
Everything's covered until today.
Up to and today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.